Year 3, I'm going to be taking you through your maths investigation today and giving you some new maths vocabulary. So I'm going to start by giving you a question. Did you know you can estimate the length of your foot by the length of your forearm? Now the reason why I did this for estimate is because to estimate means you are finding something as close to the correct answer as you can. The way we can find this estimate of the length of our foot is because there is a correlation between the length of our foot and the length of our forearm. Now I've used another word there, which is correlation, and the reason why I'm using this action is because a correlation is like a relationship, like a link. There is a link between the length of your foot and the length of your forearm, and that's what we're going to be focusing on today in our maths investigation. We are going to be finding correlations between the lengths and sizes of a body part compared to other body parts. Now to help us with this, we're going to need two more words. We know estimate, we know correlation, and we're going to use correlations to help us with estimates, but we also need to know the words approximate and equivalent, and to teach you those, I'm going to use sweets.
Okay, so let's start with equivalent. Now equivalent means that two things are exactly the same. This drumstick is equivalent to this drumstick because they are the same length, they are equivalent in length, they are equivalent in width, they are equivalent in colour. They are equivalent because they are exactly the same. Here we can still see something that is equivalent. One drumstick is equivalent to 7 pastils because the length of these 7 pastils is exactly the same as the length of this drumstick. So they are equivalent because they are still exactly the same. The width is different, they are not equivalent, but in length, the length of the drumstick is equivalent to the length of 7 pastils.
So all you need to remember is that equivalent means exactly the same. The action we can do for this is this. Equivalent, they are exactly the same. Equivalent means exactly the same.
Now let's move on to approximately. So approximately is used to show that something is almost but not exactly accurate or exact. So this drumstick lolly is approximate to a Refreshers lolly, but if I put them side by side, right at the top, the Refreshers lolly is just a bit bigger, but only by a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. So it's not equivalent, it is approximate. They are not exactly the same, but they are so close. So here we can see that 6 pastils is approximate to 4 love hearts. The reason why it's approximate is because they are almost the same in length, but they are just not exactly the same. They're not exactly the same in length, but they're pretty close.
So approximately is something that is almost but not completely exactly accurate or the same. So we have equivalent, that is exactly the same, and we have approximate or approximately, which is almost exactly the same but not quite.